Well, he made it through his doctor's appointment, and he got a good report, huh? So what'd they do to you?
First thing they did was put a thing in my arm so that they could put needles into it. And they left it in my arm throughout the whole thing. And they injected me with some fluid that said it wouldn't affect me at all. I don't know what it was.
It was a stress.
for.
It was a stress
It was a
test
nuclear stress test.
without having to go on the treadmill and all that. And so, how do you feel?
I didn't feel any different after we put the stuff in there that made my heart race. I didn't even feel my heart racing.
Oh, you didn't? And you said you had to put your arms up?
Oh, when they put you on that table and put the camera, had to keep moving and taking pictures. And it was having my hands up or arms up over my head is what bothered my shoulders the most. Shots and that didn't bother me at all. Didn't even know they did it.
So did we go through Egypt yet?
Yeah, we went through Egypt. We're almost into Palmyra.
Okay. So Egypt, New York. We've been to Egypt, Mexico, all places in New York that are a little different. And he hasn't eaten, so he's got to get something to eat. That car wash looks funny. It's rainy. I thought I was going to be out here all day long. I was kind of nervous about it.
It wasn't bad. It's
It was only a couple hours, really.
We got there at 10 o'clock. They took me right in, even though my appointment wasn't until 11.
Clay is always early.
Try to be. Well, you never know. And if you're going to some place you've never been before, it's not hard getting lost, especially when you got a GPS that takes you 3 miles out of the way and then makes you turn around and go back.
So we have to we're going to go we got to get a new,
Well, that GPS is what, 10 years old?
Yes, we got to get a new one.
It's supposed to be updated.
Well, we'll just buy a new one. This is that year that everything needs to be replaced, huh?
Seems to be.
And then, like everybody else, we're going to be watching the debates tonight and just busy night.
The last debate.
Yeah, and then we're gonna probably grab some Chinese food, go home, do a little bit of work, and snuggle up and watch the debates, right? Let's see what that's all about. I did take a long nap. Actually, Clay came out to the car, and what was I doing?
You were making a mess in my front seat. I couldn't get in the car. You had bottles and cookies and all kinds of stuff on the seat.
I had Cheez-Its and a soda and oh, I didn't have my blankets because I was under my blanket.
Papers and pens and everything else. I couldn't even get in the car.
Well, I expected to be there.
It was raining and she's locked me out of the car.
I expected to be here about
There's a
6
big Trump
hours.
sign there.
Oh, yeah.
A wagon. I've never seen anything. It says Farmers for Trump.
We like watching all the different signs and things that are out.
Well, we usually count to see how many are the Trump signs compared to the Biden signs that are out in this area.
Yeah.
Seems to be a lot more Trump signs than Biden.
Yeah, we don't see hardly any of those.
I think we saw one on the way in.
Yeah, we saw one on the way in,
We
yeah.
had to drive almost 50 miles.
So it's interesting to see what people have out.
Maybe a dozen or two Trump signs.
Yeah.
You gotta slow down again.
Well, here's more signs here.
There's a Trump sign.
Trump pants.
I don't see any Biden
Bunch
signs.
of little guys that, whatever.
Town hall and that.
Yeah.
Running for mayor or whatever. David Husk, whoever he is.
Yeah, that guy's got a big sign on the front of his house. A Trump sign. This is upstate New York. What people are doing, just so if you're curious.
Well, I imagine when you get closer to New York City and it's all Biden signs, so.
Yeah, it might be different there. Well, it's hard to say. It's just like everywhere else. You never know. Just see what happens.
We went to one town, it was printed all Biden signs, and went to another town and it was all Trump signs.
Yeah, so just interesting to see. And then we ride through, there's one or two towns here that there'll be a lot of like the Black Lives Matter signs up too. Save a life. What is this guys? They got all kinds of signs out right now because of all the elections. There's another.
Rick Perry, Yates. There's a for rent sign.
Yeah, there's even a for rent sign.
I don't know what just slid off
Yeah, it was
there.
a soda. It was a soda. Which I'm trying to lose weight. But I thought I was going to be stuck here all day, so I said, well, I better have something to drink and something to eat just in case.
And I didn't bother picking up anything because I wasn't allowed to have anything because of the tests. This is Palmyra.
Yeah.
Or where I went to school, they called it Palmac.
Because I used to be a recruiter for a beauty company and worked for some other companies too, kind of doing the same thing. I know all these little cities, some of them I have been in and some of them I haven't been in. But I would like recruit people and then I would send people out that I recruited to recruit other people.
There's a
So,
Biden sign.
where's that one at?
Is that
I missed that.
behind you?
But, yeah, so all these little
I
towns.
can't wait till that's over.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hopefully it gets over in a day. I'm praying that it ends in this, like that night.
Well, hopefully they
that-
don't drag it out
Yeah.
with all this mail-in voting.
Well, we remember
They're
the
saying
days
it could take up to middle of December for them to count all the votes.
because we all were. Most of us out here, probably you guys too, remember the days when we all went through that before. Oh. So anyway, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, when Trump and Hillary went at it.
No. That was when Gore and
Bush and Gore for Florida. That was
yeah.
only for Florida, but
Remember they had to count all those things and.
they got that place for just demolishing.
But anyway,
It looked like that old of a building.
yeah. Huh. Yeah, we have different, every state has different things. Like we have dog licenses, and I don't know if your state has that. And we've got, every state has things different. We have to recycle, and there's just a lot of, every place has a little bit different of what they do as far as little,
Well, they say they're recycling, but
I don't know.
I've caught them dumping the recyclables right into the same truck that the garbage goes in.
Yeah. We've seen that more than once. Well, here are signs. So these are the local guys.
Doug Giroux. Never heard of him either. Must be running for mayor or something.
So a lot of people did the early voting, and I've been. I know my sister did the early voting.
Did she?
Yeah. We're gonna go in person, and then I know some people.
I'm going election day.
Yeah, and then I know some people that because they're older may have to do mail-in because of
I don't think I've ever talked to anybody.
or
that did-
absentee or something. I'm not sure what they're doing.
I haven't talked to anybody that did the mail-in or absentee.
Well, they thought about it. I don't know what they're doing. They'll probably go too. So every place is different. So that's the big thing. I'm sure everybody will be watching all that stuff tonight and seeing what happens. Oh, but now we're thinking about eating Chinese, and we can go inside, and we have to wear a mask, and there's social distancing, and the food is awesome, isn't it? There. So
About
Clay,
time they opened it back up.
yeah, so Clay will eat like, I'll eat like fish and the rice and peanut chicken.
And I like the mushrooms and the shrimp and the vegetables.
So he'll be eating all of that. Oh, there's another Trump sign on that guy's porch. Here's more signs here. All local guys. And
There's a Biden sign.
I missed it, but look at all the beautiful leaves up here. I just want the elections to be over, one way or the other.
Yeah, every time you turn the TV on, it's something about either Trump or Biden. Or Kamala Harris. Or you don't see much on Pence, but mostly on the other three.
Look at this little house here. Isn't that
It's a
cool?
tree house.
Yeah, isn't that cool? Yeah, did hunting season start up here? In that
Yeah,
November? That'll be
yeah,
soon.
coming close.
Yeah, because I saw deer. I don't think the deer are running now yet. Which you gotta
Oh,
be.
they're running,
Yeah, because there's a few dead animals out, but you gotta start be careful. We were talking about country and city driving. I think it's a lot easier to drive in the
but
city.
I would rather drive in the country.
I don't like driving in the country because when you're driving, all of a sudden it's like one picture had it. Look, a stove. It could be a deer. Anything can fly in front of you because it's just the laid-back kind of lifestyle. Mainly animals. Everybody out here has hit a deer, I think, more than once in their life. But that's the thing. Next, that's going to be a concern. I think they're doing Halloween up here too. I didn't hear anybody closing it, but we did hear a lot about the clocks. We heard.
What did they say?
I don't know because I have to look it up again. But we saw something, and I followed the story a
Well,
little bit.
I heard one guy say that they're not doing it.
I heard that some states were, some weren't, which doesn't even
Well,
make
that
sense.
doesn't make sense at all.
So since it wasn't a big story, I'm going to take it that they're changing the clocks back. But there was some kind of thing that said
That would be the Saturday after Halloween, right?
yeah, because there was some kind of thing that came out that they were saying that they thought there was too much stuff going on right now, and that maybe they shouldn't change the clocks back. I don't know. I saw it only came out in like September, which is pretty recent, but that was all I saw. And then I heard somebody else talking about it, saying that they weren't going to change the clocks. And I thought, well, what's going on with that? So if you know anything about that, please leave it in the comments, just in case there's something that, you know, sometimes you miss. Usually you end up going to church an hour early or an hour late. One year I actually had an extra hour of my birthday because I fell on that. I'm born October 30th, the day before Halloween. Usually at my house you'd always have like handing out candy and having a birthday cake inside.
We're almost to Newark. We're at Port Gibson right now.
Which we don't get a lot of trick-or-treaters at our house now at all.
I haven't had a trick or treat.
We don't get any really.
over 10 years.
My son gets lots of trick-or-treaters.
I used to when the kids were little because they'd bring the kids over for Halloween.
Oh, we used to get so many trick-or-treaters. We'd start at like 5 because they, you know, it's supposed to start 5:30. They'd start at like 5 and end at like 10.
I've got to buy a bag of candy because just about the time
You don't
you
think?
don't buy it, that's when somebody will show up.
Yeah,
So you always buy a bag of candy of the stuff you like. Because
exactly.
if you get stuck with it,
My favorite is the year we ran out and I started going through the cupboards to give stuff and little girl goes, "Look, Mom, I got cocoa." It was so cute. One year, of course, I knew all the kids because I was a lot younger then. I was, you know, I mean, I was like early 20s or early 30s. I'm sorry, and all the neighborhood kids knew me because my son was small, and I ran out and I gave apples, and it was so funny because the kids all knew me and they threw an apple back at me. I opened up the door and one of them silly stringed me because they knew I had a good sense of humor. So I opened up the door and there was like, you know, some of the kids took because they knew I had a good sense of humor. It's like, oh man, those were fun days when you live in the neighborhood because people would come over with their, special neighbors and friends would knock on the door to show you their kids in their Halloween outfits and stuff. That was kind of fun. But now we live in the country. It's just a different world. But Mom and Dad lived like we did when I was a kid. They didn't have it. We never got trick-or-treaters either. Hardly ever. Because it was just too busy. Did you get trick-or-treaters at your house? You have to really live in a development. And then one of the developments I lived in, everybody else would come to our development for good candy. So, it was fun. I'd always dress up too. When they came to the door, I'd be dressed up. And just because it was more fun that way. Now, of course, we don't dress up. I probably would if we had tons and tons of kids, though, huh? We'd probably put a mask on or something, but anyway. What did we see online the other day? We were looking at, because Clay and I are armchair travelers. We saw the Spooktacular, all those pumpkins everywhere.
Oh, that was
pretty cool.
Williams something town zoo.
Well, there was a bunch of places that did it, though. It was called like a Spooktacular.
It was the same place, just different people videoed it.
So it was like a lights on the lake.
All right, here we're in Newark.
Oh, okay, so we're gonna get some Chinese here.
Here's Tom Walls.
I've never been. You'll have to take me there sometime when they open.
It's not cheap, but they do have their homemade hamburger and everything.
I don't know if I want to pay $10 for a hamburger.
No, they press them with a plate or something. I ate there once. I wasn't impressed.
Oh, okay. Well, that guy got something.
Yeah, the roof door out there isn't.
So this is the town of Newark. But anyway, if you
there's Tom Walls right there.
What we do, because we're retired, is like we say, hey, why go to right now, because especially with social distancing and everything, we said, hey, let's see if there's anything exciting on YouTube that people are doing for Halloween, and we saw that Spooktacular, so we watched that, which is pretty cool.
They're dining inside here because there's
are
cars.
they? Oh, yeah.
Newark is allowed to.
Okay. But we might go to the
Governor
zoo.
Cuomo is thinking of locking everything back down again.
Yeah, because New York's been locked down for a long time. We haven't been able to do hardly anything. And they just opened up the restaurants. They just opened up the movie theaters, but the movie theaters have like really old movies.
I have yet to meet anybody around here that has had COVID.
No.
Let alone died of it.
No, we haven't had any of that around here. Well, we've heard of some
They
cases.
said they had 5 cases in the Newark hospital.
Yeah, we've heard of people having cases, but we don't know anyone personally that's had
And
it.
nobody's died of it out there.
That we know of. That we know of. We should correct that.
Yeah.
But we're in upstate New York.
We're not saying it isn't out there, just saying that.
We just haven't seen it up here ourselves.
They keep locking us down and nobody's spreading it, so.
Yeah. But, well, people get frustrated because they can't go anywhere, and so it gets.
Well, every place you go, you got to have the mask on.
Right.
They treat you like you've got a venereal disease or something, or they can't get near you. And if you've got a slight cough, you cough from a cold, and they look at you like you're infecting the world. It hasn't got anything to do with COVID.
Right. Well, it's just they said allergy season is going to set off some different things because people are concerned because they don't know if there's allergies or whatever. But but we're not too worried about any of that. But you just do what you're supposed to do, and you just social distance, wear your mask, but it's kind of like you feel like you're locked down. But we're not that worried about it though anyway because we stay home anyway a lot.
About the most we do is go to Walmart for groceries or something.
Right, so we're not, and it's not like a big thing, but we do want, but if you are home and you want to do something, that Spooktacular is really nice, and other things too. So, because I am an armchair traveler, like I'll say, well, let's go to New Zealand today. You know what I mean? Or Norway, or so. It's fun to just look and see what other places have out there. So it's fun.
Yeah, we enjoy it.
It is fun, and it's fun to see how other people live.
We
And
can go to different zoos. We went to the Bronx Zoo, and
yeah, sometimes we'll go to like a park. Like we'll go to. Well, I wonder what's down at Disney. Or you can even travel back in time, right? So anyway, it's fun through the reality of YouTube.
we went to the zoo in Thailand too.
Yeah, and it's cool to see what's out there. But don't get discouraged if you get
If you gotta be locked down, you might as well enjoy it.
Exactly. And you can still travel, be an armchair traveler like we have always been, really. Like my dad used to say, why go there and sweat for 4 hours? You can just watch it on TV. Sometimes as you get older, I remember the days, you walk the state fair or Disney and you're like, gee, I could see it just as well on the TV and I get close-ups. And I don't have to sit there and bear the heat.
Wow, the lights have been with us.
But that Spooktacular, I was going to just mention that, is really worth seeing. Remember the pumpkins? Some of those pumpkins.
It's really nice.
It's really cool, yeah. So if you're looking for something to do and you got to stay home, get a big bag of popcorn.
They had carvings of
Yep.
different movie stars and different
ju-
places in the world.
and then just do a virtual vacation, right?
I don't know, it's about the third light we've got today.
Okay, guys, I guess with that, we're going to let you go because we're running out of tape on here. So remember,
Big or small, you too could be a backyard farm.
God bless.